There we go. Hi, everybody. Let's call the June 23rd, 2025 Parks and Recreation Commission meeting to order at 5:33 p.m. Can we do a roll call?
Commissioners, when I call your name, please indicate that you are present. Chair Rowland,
Present.
Vice Chair Donato,
Present.
Commissioner Admeyer,
Present.
Commissioner Davis,
Present.
Commissioner Diaz is absent, Commissioner Ferguson,
Present.
Commissioner Fine is absent, Commissioner Finneman,
Present.
Commissioner Nagaya,
Present.
Commissioner Roddy,
Present.
and Commissioner Shans is present. We have a forum.
Great. The agenda was posted last Wednesday, June 18th. Has everybody had a chance to look at the minutes from last month? I'm gonna go with yes. Does anybody have any changes to the minutes? If no changes to the minutes, can I get a motion to approve the minutes?
Second.
We'll do a roll call vote. Commissioner Admeyer,
Accept.
Commissioner Davis,
Accept.
Commissioner Ferguson,
Accept.
Commissioner Finland,
Accept.
Commissioner Nagaya,
Accept.
Commissioner Roddy,
Accept.
Chair Moralia,
Accept.
Vice Chair Donato.
Accept.
Passes.
Time for public comment. This time has been set aside for members of the public to address the Parks and Recreation Commission on agenda items and items of general interest within the subject matter jurisdiction of the commission. Although the commission values your comments pursuant to the Brown Act, it generally cannot take any action on items not listed on the posted agenda. 3 minutes are assigned for each speaker. Do we have anyone live and in person? Come on. Version with this.
It's the first one. Last meeting, I was the only person here. Good evening, everybody. Good evening. It's tough out there. It's tough for us and tough for the critters and the plants. In the city of Palm Springs general plan. There's a couple of headings for a couple paragraphs here. Continue to advance Palm Springs as a sustainability leader. Promote the sustainable use of materials, energy, water, air, natural resources, reduce greenhouse emissions. In another line, or paragraph, encourage the creative mixing of land uses to promote vibrant and walkable neighborhoods accessible to all. I'm a griper. I'm a landscape designer. I've been doing this work since I was a little kid. When I could reach up and push the handles of the lawnmower, I was ready to go. I've studied horticulture since about 1968, 69, and I continued to study. I'm from Philadelphia originally, and then the Chicago area, Northwest Indiana. So here's my line. I ask you all to take time to look at the gardens around the new Agua Caliente Museum. Note how the plants are close together and that they are growing together and commingling. Also note that they are being allowed to grow up to their full potential. Our pollinator critters love this. By comparison, go around the corner and look at our convention center. The landscape there is sparse and hacked to nothing. Even the trees are damaged, especially on the west side. You guys are in charge of these plants. Tell the laborers to leave the plants grow. Stop cutting them to death and killing them. Please hire competent, trained contractors. I moved here from Northwest Indiana. I worked in the steel industry and I did my landscape work on the side. I'd love to see a program, maybe in the fall or next year when you guys can plan something. In the 1980s and the 1990s, our park department sold us, anybody that wanted them, they had those like 4 or 5 different trees, selections of trees. So we could go either pick up a tree or have it delivered. It was like $25 each, not giant trees. The last time I was back in Hammond, tree I planted on Detroit Street in Harrison Park neighborhood is like now about 30 feet tall. And the house is a small craftsman bungalow, so it's towering above it. But maybe you guys could do something like that. We could have 4 or 5 different trees, offer them to the public. Over here at James O. Jesse, there's plenty of room, and there's other places where you could stockpile. And maybe people could come or they get have delivered as well. The things like the scouts, the Boys and Girls Clubs, and the outfit that worked with us to plant trees a few years ago, it was before COVID, around the city. I forget what they were called, but it was like a youth group, a corps of some kind. But maybe you could do something like that. Third thing, our planters and dividers along Tockwitz, Indian Canyon, and the new ones going in on Sunrise, and there's another new one going in with the new bridge down by the expressway. These planters, they should be full of pollinator and monarch butterfly friendly plants. The grassy areas around the airport, some of those could be converted to meadow gardens for the monarchs. We really need to support our pollinators. All right, appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Can we have your name, please?
Oh, Bill Miller, William Miller.
Thank you.
Anybody else out there? Anyone on Zoom?
If you are joining us via Zoom, please use the raise hand feature to indicate that you would like to speak. No guests on Zoom.
Okay, it's time for the director's report.
All right, good evening, Parks and Recreation Commissioners. I'll give you a brief update of what the department has been up to since our last commission meeting. First, we'll start off with the list of city council agenda items. On May 28th, we took an item in partnership with the engineering department to reject all bids received for the Demuth Park pickleball project. You all were briefed the last commission meeting about that, and so that is currently out to bid now, and so we'll be reviewing bids within the next month and hopefully bring that project to city council with a new contract award in August. Also during that meeting, there was an authorized issuance of lease revenue bonds to fund the library renovations and swim center. You'll be hearing a little bit more about the swim center project later this evening, but that's to go ahead and set aside funds and wrap the swim center project with the library project for a lease of bonds so that we can move forward with that building renovation at the swim center. On June 11th, we had 2 items that were pertaining to us as part of the city council agenda process. There was an appointment to various boards and commissions. So Vice Chair Cole Donato is terming out this evening. And so there was an appointment to replace his position on the Parks and Recreation Commission, and that'll be replaced by Alexandra Phillips. So she will be joining us at the next commission meeting for her installment. Also at that meeting on June 11th, the draft budget for fiscal years 25-26 and 26-27 were presented to the city council. There are some minor modifications that the council will make, and then I will bring forward at the July meeting a full budget presentation for you all to be aware of. Upcoming for this week, just to give you a sneak peek into the agenda for us for June 25th, we're taking an approval of an agreement with Action Park Alliance. That's the organization that operates and manages the skate park, the Palm Springs Skate Park. So we are moving forward with entering into another 5-year agreement with them for operations and management of that facility. And then also at the June 25th meeting, there will be a public hearing and adoption of the comprehensive budget for the next 2 fiscal years. So again, at July, I'll give you a full update and presentation of the department's budget so you can get a better sense of how our funds and revenues are doing for the next couple fiscal years. I want to also let you know that we've hired 2 new lifeguards over at the Palm Springs Swim Center. So this is really exciting for us as we gear up and have a full set of lifeguard teams. Picture on the top, that's Rihanna Aguirre. She's a high school graduate in the National Honor Society who brings a sports background to the department, having worked as an umpire as well as customer experience working with the Elks Lodge of Desert Hot Springs. And then you have Pedro down below, who's also a Palm Springs High School graduate with a strong aquatics background, having been on the swim and water polo teams for Palm Springs High School. He brings an array of skills, including customer service and an interest in business operations, having served as his high school's Able Skills USA co-president. So we are really excited to have these two individuals with us. They just started last week, so they're starting out as lifeguard trainees. Once we gear them up and get them all certified as lifeguards, they will move into a lifeguard position. So really happy to have them on board. A couple of other things for you all to be aware of. We had our Dip Into Summer event that was held on Saturday, May 24th at the Palm Springs Swim Center. It was a huge success where we had a couple hundred people come by that facility. We celebrated the start of summer with water games, a pool party, music, and of course a watermelon toss to celebrate that event. It was really exciting to see a whole bunch of families and kiddos come by that facility. On June 1st, in partnership with the PF Resorts, celebrated Maryland's birthday at the Forever Maryland statue in the downtown park. There was a cupcake celebration, music, and of course a Maryland look-alike contest. We had a Legos with Dad event just a couple weeks ago at the Duluth Community Center. There was Lego car building, Lego car races, prizes, food, and beverages, and all good times were had as part of that special event over at Duluth. This past weekend, we celebrated Juneteenth with a variety of different activities in partnership with the Black History Committee. We kicked off the week of events with Village Fest, who held the live music, some line dancing, some arts and crafts activities for the kiddos down at Village Fest, which is a great way to celebrate Juneteenth on actually Juneteenth holiday. Then on June 20th, there was the Kings and Queens pageant that was held on Friday, where members of the community participated in this event held at the James O. Jesse Desert Highland Unity Center. Youth participants worked hard to prepare to show off their talent, learn etiquette, and present themselves through speech, song, and dance. And we want to just wish a congratulations to all those participants. On Friday, there was a concert at the downtown park. Following that pageant, the community shared a night of great music with a tribute to Kool and the Gang at the downtown park. Even though it was really hot, there was a great amount of community members that were still present as part of that free concert in the park. And then on Saturday was the annual Unity Picnic, where guests enjoyed food, music, a kids zone, a camel ride, and a bunch of family-friendly activities to wrap up all the Juneteenth festivities for the weekend. And some other highlights, our Pee Wee Rec program held their graduation, where they had 5 graduates who are moving on to kindergarten, and 12 students will continue on with the program for the next year. So we want to wish those 5 graduates good luck and success as they move on to Big Kid School. We held our first day of summer camp, where we have currently over 185 campers registered for Camps Palm Springs. You can see pictured here, this is the Sunrise Summer Camp with all those registered participants showcasing our camp on day 1. I know several of you joined us for that special opening day, so thank you for participating in that. We also want to give a special shout out and thanks to all of our sponsors who us helping sponsor a child this year to attend our summer camp program. Program feature on June 2nd, we started out with our own Palm Springs Swim Club. This is our own U.S. Master swim team. We held our inaugural first swim on that day, and since that day of starting up this own program, we have now 31 master participants in that swim program, and it continues to grow each week. So we're really excited for that continued growth in the swimmers as part of that USA. Some other highlights, our mature adult program. This is at the James O. Jesse Desert Highland Unity Center. There was an afternoon of painting with those mature adults programs. Our members enjoyed painting, good conversations, and snacks while attending our Wednesday meeting with our staff member, Angie, who's leading that program. Also, a highlight for you all this Thursday on June 26th, we're hosting a community meeting over at the Leisure Center. This is to discuss and have a conversation with our swimmers to review the schematic design for the building and the locker room improvements over at the swim center. You'll hear about this in the next presentation from our architect who's leading on that project. But this is an opportunity for our community to get involved and learn more about that. So we're really excited that this project will kick off soon. Some other couple of maintenance and facility highlights, just for you all to be in the know of. Sunrise Park Park, we had several benches that needed to be repainted and cleaned up. So you can see the before picture on the left is what they looked like before, with some, obviously wear and tear, with some graffiti on them. And then on the right, what they look like after. So a huge shout out and kudos to our park maintenance team for cleaning up and sprucing up those benches around Sunrise Park. There was also a baby changing table replacement that had to be done in the restroom there. So you can see the hold on the left and the replacement on the right. And then also at Ruth Hardy Park, a lot of graffiti on that tunnel in that Bacon area. But our parks team went in and cleaned that up right away. So we're really happy and really proud of our park maintenance team and integrating them really well with our operations here. And then I'll turn it over to our project manager, John Brickley, to give you some updates on some of the CIP projects that we have going on.
Can I interrupt for just 1 second? Sure. Does all the commissioners know that now maintenance is under Parks and Rec Department, right? Yeah, okay, good.
Hey everyone. Okay, so briefly, on our temporary pickleball quotes, we had our on-call fencing contractor out there. Week before last, a little bit of last week, we got all the fencing work done, all the fence rehung, installed a new gate, really cleaned it up. All the fencing, our parks maintenance crew's been out there, cleaning the site up as well. They coordinated with Public Works to get the city arborists out there to prune up those mesquite trees. So now they'll actually provide some shade and that's big bush growing all over the courts. Fencing is completed, the gates in, we're working on just finalizing a little bit of bond paperwork with our surfacing contractor, expect him to start this week. And then signage, putting in the pathway, all the finishing, cleaning up and details will be announced as we get close to an opening date.
Like
Ruth Park-
July-ish.
Yeah, I believe so. We should be, as long as no unforeseen circumstances.
Have you been there yet?
John, how long do we have that facility again?
We have that through,
The lease agreement is for about 13 months, so they're coincide just well for us to start and the project.
so the Ruth Hardy Park Playground equipment, I know this has been going around, it is back again in plan check. We went back in on the 11th. I spent a lot of time with our vendor on this to go through, coordinating closely with plan check. Not so much engineering on this pass, but made sure they wanted footing details, all the cages, everything, so we really went, we got them everything I think they can possibly ask for, so. We expect construction to commence sometime next month, as long as everything goes to plan, we get through that check. We're working closely with them just on a few issues. As soon as that permit gets issued, we'll get them mobilized out there. We're anticipating this is going to be completed by mid to late October still. And I just want to say on that, we'll make sure to, this is not closed while, once we get to our next one, which is the next slide of Desert Island Park. We're not gonna close both parks simultaneously. We'll make sure that, the playground areas are only ones closed at a time. So we've had some meetings with consultants and other meetings with our staff to, really look at this design again. It looks neat, but we really wanted to have a wow factor and something unique. We don't feel that we got that with this. So we had a meeting with a design consultant firm who specialized more on accessibility, those types of issues. So we've got some good ideas. We're gonna go back to our vendor with, ask for another redesign or two. So we can, bring that back to the community, to the ad hoc and to the commission for, all the colors and, finalization and everything else. But we really want to make sure that we're really bringing something unique to the neighborhood up there.
Cool. Are you happy with the progress there?
Yes, well, we're gonna make tweaks to that.
Okay.
Yes.
Good.
Progress, yes.
Yeah, and currently we are in the design phase, but that's timing perfectly with Ruth Hardy.
Okay.
So. And then the building upgrade for the swim center. So we've been meeting with design team Maria Song, who's here, CIP and our staff as well to coordinate on the projects. I know Maria, I believe, was on site. I think it was week before last. Our swim center was telling us, and as continued project updates come in, we'll be making sure to pass them along. She'll have an update for you all here. Playground structure lighting, again, that's all still rolling into the Desert Island Park playground. So we'll make sure now that we know all the nitty-gritty detail we need to submit, we will make sure that the lighting is in there as well in those designs. So everything gets approved and check hopefully the first time for Desert Island, including the lighting. Once we have that proven concept, and we know it works, we'll roll it out to the other parks. And if it doesn't work, we'll find something else.
So is this the lights that are sitting on top of like one of the poles of the equipment, or is this something different?
No, those ones, we tested those, they're not gonna work, but I did find one that's, we have some ones that we wanna post, we also were able to identify some solar options that we could. I believe, as long as we get the plan check, we can put it underneath the shade canopy, the light would be underneath it, the panel would be on top, it's not a massive structure by any means. It's-
Okay.
So those would help to light that, and maybe it could be a combination with some permanent solar lights, it's all right. The downtown park amphitheater, we're working to secure some designs for a couple different design proposals for that. We did get cooperation with CIP. They have on-call landscape architects that they're gonna allow us to use, so coordinating with them on that. The Ruth Hardy Park tennis court fencing and lighting replacement project. I've been working again with CIP, the engineering team on that, to look at really what needs to be done there. Starting to develop some preliminary estimates. I don't want to throw any numbers out there yet, but it'll be a substantial project when we get to it. Artscapes in the park installations, we do have one of those that the city took possession of for Barresto Park. So once we have to go ahead to move forward on constructing those pads, we'll be working on coordinating those installs with Public Art and getting those in. And in the Wyatt mural restoration, we were notified by the state that we were not chosen to selected to move forward for that grant. But we do have a lot of community support. We do have one of the advisors to that state board who's working with us to still keep that moving forward. So they're working closely with Public Art as well.
And I'm sorry, one other thing that I forgot to mention on the city council update on the agenda for this week. Public Works is moving forward on issuing and awarding the project to renovate the splash pad at the downtown park.
Oh, cool.
So that's really exciting, especially for this team to be aware of. That project, once the award goes forward, we'll start construction and should be open early 2026. So in
Any-
January.
Okay. Any idea when the tennis courts, like, we're talking 2026, right?
Currently, there's no, at Ruth Hardy Park.
Yeah.
Currently, there's no funding set aside for
Right.
it, so as John was stating, he's currently only looking at feasibility right now to get an assessment of what the total actual project cost might be. But that is not a currently funded project.
Okay. Thanks. Oh, we're on to presentations. Such time.
Yes, sorry. So I want to go ahead and invite Maria Song from Interactive Design Corporation to go ahead and give you an update on the Palm Springs Swim Center building and the locker room schematic design. Let me just switch presentations here so you know.
And you let Carlos go?
After he,
After he loaded
The
up the
pre-show.
presentation? Okay.
the pre-show. Good evening, everyone, commissioners. John, how could this be the last one? But I'm so glad that you get to see this package. So we're really excited and jazzed. The last time we saw each other was actually over a year ago. I can't believe that. I get younger every year. No. So here we are. This is the snapshot of the entrance. So I want to walk you through how we came up with something like this. Okay, next slide, please. So you're flying on the airplane and you're seeing down our wonderful swim center. There are two major entrances to the swim center. One on the bottom, which is the everyday swimming, everyday usage entrance. What we want to do is extend an arcade so it reaches to South Pavilion Way, so everybody could see where the swim center is located. Then from there, we reconfigured, and I'll show you more in detail in the next slide. The second thing is the second entrance up above through the parking and the courtyard of the Pavilion and Leisure Center. Those are events like this last weekend where you get 100, 200, 600 people. And that's where the gates are gonna be open and staff will be there to welcome them. And so I wanna show you the two different locations and what they look like, a structure itself. The next slide. So here we are color coordinated. What we're looking here is from the right where you have the north arrow is the arrival court. It's a steel arcade where people could mingle, gossip, uh, meet one another. Then you have the check-in center, where you show your ID. We're talking about different ways of how we can check in the members. Then you have a control entrance in which it is by electronic device that lets you in. So that orange area that you see today, half of it is existing building, the other half is new. It's really the pizza pie shape that's a new addition to the staff area. So the orange is where staff is going to be. Now they're gonna be able to have two managers looking out to the pool deck, the staff, and then a little flex area as well. Then where you see the purple area are two single-use restrooms and showers. Those are dedicated for families if they wanna bring their kiddos to change and so on. The blue area is the male lockers and restrooms. The fuchsia is where the women's are, and then further to the left, the brownish area are the storages that are very much needed. The most important part that connects all of this is the yellow area, which is an upper deck. That deck is at the same elevation as your arrival port. You come in and you go do your business in the same deck elevation as the entry. Then from there, you go down two wide stairways or a handicap ramp. So if you see the next slide, I wanna step back a little bit on how did we come with those forms. What you're seeing is in 1970s, wonderful Hugh Capter had to do a value engineering to his bathhouse design. And that's what you see, which is about shy of 1,400 square feet. Then in the 1980s, a similar addition was added. Initially, it was called the bathhouse. Then in the 1980s, the locker room area were added. And then in the 1990s, the shed that you see colored in red was added as well. On the right, where you see the key map is actually the building that you see today. Then what we did is, next slide. We added this upper deck, as you can see it, it's almost as you're coming to this stadium box. In a way, you get to have this viewing area of the entire deck. And you don't have to figure out if I'm gonna go down, if I'm gonna go up, you're in the same level as the walkway that you came in. That wraps around pretty much the north and west area. Then the next slide. What we have added is the new admin with the big arcade in order to lead you in. And then the next component that you see here is a building section. So on the left where it says existing admin building flex room, that's the current check-in that you see today. To the right, you see the admin addition, and further right, you see the arcade with the blue beams. Okay, next slide. Then the major final component is the amazing steel structure pavilion. This is a roof within a roof. What's important about this is to create shade to the very much needed locker room and shaded areas, bathroom areas. What you see in dark blue is perhaps the solar panels, and then what you see in lighter baby blue is actually perforated panels. And then potential for solar panels in the future as well. We have in mind sustainability and shade, as you very much know, it's about times like this, 29-degree difference between direct sun and shaded area, so we want those shades. Okay, next slide. So here's a preliminary conceptual of what that, in a way, somebody would call it a carport, but I call it a pavilion over the existing structure. And then to the right, you see a section of the handicap ramp that is nestled right up to the existing building. Next slide. So we want to show you this animation as if you were coming to the pavilion for the first time. Oh, where's the swim center? There it is. I'm checking in, I'm paying my fees. I come through the gate. Again, I get to see the entire swimming deck below, but I go to the right to get changed or put my items away. You're just passing through the unisex or single-use restrooms. You sort of visit and look at the entire west view. And then you turn around and then you get to see the pavilion as well as the admin addition on the left side. So the second part we want to show you is the circle area in dash that we're talking about giving a ample entrance during the bigger events. Next slide. What you see here in orange, is two ways of coming in. One is, the one on the bottom is for wheelchair access. The one on top is for walking access, but they all have this meeting point to a handicap accessible ramp in the middle. And this is coming from Pavilion, and again, here's the animation of what that would look like. We use the existing sidewalks to connect. This is the handicap ramp access. We're all robotic, right? We turn 90 degrees. That's the limitation of the animation here. And then you turn left, and this is where we come to the swimming deck area. So overall, we were able to literally squeeze all the needs that are missing right now in the swim center, and we're pretty excited that we were able to take these next steps. It's like, oh, so that's the view looking east. You get to see the ramp. The one that we did not talk about is the third one, which is a fire exit. And that would be for exit only, in case of emergency. Next slide. Again, the view from, as if you were the sun setting on the west. Then next view, it's the first stairway. As if you don't need to go to the locker rooms, you'll use those stairs in order to exit. And then again, back to the entrance. So we hope that you approve of this design so we can actually take it to the next step. We have a lot of homework to do before we can actually make this a reality. And so Nick will lead us through the steps, and I'm here for any questions you may have.
Do you want questions now, or do you want them Thursday, or what's better for
You can
you?
take questions now.
So the perforated cover,
Yes.
how perforated is it? Because one of the things that I hear from the swimmers is they like the openness, right? So if it's tiny little dots that you can barely see through, I don't think they're gonna love it. But if it's something that you can still see the sky and that kind of thing, I think they'll be more open to it.
What we were trying to do is open the view to the west.
Okay,
So the view to the west is what we concentrated, and then what we try to do with the perforated and the solid,
Mhm.
as far as from the sky, is to actually bring shade
yeah, I get it.
to the locker room and shower area. So to be able to look up, the issue is the direct sun that is bearing on the surfaces. So we have to balance that out, and so we picked the west view to be something what we are going to keep the view. But as far as the lid itself, to be able to be solid and perforated. So we can discuss the number of penetration percentage and those things to see how perforated, but once it opens up too much, then we start bringing direct sun.
Sure, I get it.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just curious because I think you'll get that comment.
Oh, yeah, thank you for the warning. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
But I love the entranceway. I love that the deck is now all one level instead of like 2 steps here, 5 steps here, or 6 steps there. This looks amazing.
Thank you.
Nick, can you refresh your memory on the budget for this project?
We've added $7 million to the library bond to help fund this project. And so this project only covers the building and the locker rooms. Yeah, and I'm sorry, and the ADA improvements that Ray was just mentioning.
The obvious question, given what we went through with pickleball, designing within the budget, and I mean, we have a sense of that, or obviously you have to go bid things out and get quotes, but
Yeah, my understanding is we've had lots of conversations about the project budget, and this should be sufficient enough to get us through the design.
yeah, it's a spectacular design. It's really well done.
Thank you. I may say that I have, provided a very general, not very general. Conceptual estimate and, because of the experience from all departments of all the public projects that have happened, they have sufficiently added cushion.
Okay, good. So what's our next? I know we're gonna have the community meeting Thursday. Are we saying we have that meeting? We button up the plan and we're presenting it? Is that
That
kind of the roadmap
Yes.
here?
So the plan is we are moving forward. So after presenting to you all this evening, we will present to the community on Thursday. Give them the idea of everything and all the hard work that Maria and her team have been working on this design. But we need to move forward and start building and constructing on this. So following that meeting, we are taking an agreement to the council for approval to move forward and give Maria the go-ahead officially to move forward on this project in July. And then that'll give us the idea to kind of go ahead and put together a full project timeline.
Good. No, just so the community is aware tomorrow, like this is what's happening.
Yeah, so the idea is my understanding, and this happened a lot prior to me being here, we've done a significant amount of community engagement on that. We've gathered a lot of feedback from our swimmer community, and all of their feedback, all of their information has been brought in and put into and been considered as part of the schematic design. We're talking about the shell. Right, we're not talking about the fixtures and equipment that are going in yet. That'll come later. We need to get moving forward on the whole schematic design itself and give Maria the go ahead. So if there are questions regarding, the fixtures in the restrooms or what the offices will look like, we still have time to kind of figure that out along the way. We just need to make sure the structure is sound enough for us to proceed and give the go ahead.
Okay. I'm sure Maria's heard plenty about the fixtures and whatnot. We want benches, we don't want this, yeah.
Maria, what role will your firm play as this moves forward? Not quite sure the scope that your firm has in terms of once it's approved and managing, or what does that look like?
Excellent question. Our firm is from the beginning all the way to the end. So we finished the schematic design package right now in the sense of, okay, what would this building look like? And so we're gonna, as the agreement set forth, our first phase is to discover and research and understand the existing site and the existing building. Can we build this close with new structure? So then from there, it goes into design development, construction document. We go through plan check correction, and then we go through bidding, and then contract administration. We go through punch list and then close out.
Okay,
And so you will see me from.
so you're not leaving us.
No.
And that's one of the things about our company. Yeah.
Thank you. And sorry, one more question.
Yes.
Nothing is happening to the pool itself, that infrastructure. Is that correct? Okay.
Well, not part of this plan.
Yeah, this
Right.
Yes, yes, very
Yes,
well.
thank you for clarifying. But
Is there any, as far as the trees and such, there was like a really big issue, especially on the west side. Are we gonna be losing any trees?
On the north side, the design currently is to keep all those trees.
That's
So the ramp is adjacent or grazing those trees. On the, as you see this rendering here, the tall palm trees, they will be some of them will have to be removed.
And is there any, and you may not, this may be premature, but as far as, and I think he was alluded to it, was any downtime for the pool itself due to the construction, or would it be the plans to be able to keep it open while during the two phases, I guess you would say?
Very good question. The staff and we have the experience of COVID in which the facility was able to be open with other type of facilities. So the idea is to strategize a way to keep the center open.
You talked about removing palm trees. Is it removing or is it relocating?
To be honest with you, relocation is gonna be really hard.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. We all wanna feel good about knowing that it was relocated, but we will come back with more, but I will not bring you back good news. When it comes to palm trees.
Yeah, we will need to reassess kind of the landscaping and the replacement of the trees that we'll need to remove. Yeah, we're just not at that phase at this part of the design.
Again, to John's point, it'll come up as we've seen from
Yep.
other projects like this. So
Yes, 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 thank you. I'm gonna keep coming.
Just one comment on the palm trees too. I know we see a lot of the trees being relocated. But there's, different types of palm trees, and the ones we see being relocated are not the type that are there. These types, to try and relocate those, they're pretty unstable. Put something that high in with the wind, I don't know how we keep it back up.
So our plan is to replace with new younger ones. So that they're part of the desert design.
thanks.
And I do also just want to add, while our full intention is to keep the facility, the pool itself open during the construction, we are renovating the locker rooms. So we are going to be working on a plan on having some temporary facilities in the area during construction. And there may be some times where Maria and her team need to get in to do some work in the interim, even before full-fledged construction. So we'll be ready to communicate that with all of our swimmers so that they're well aware that if there are some displacement in some facilities, that they know that before coming to the pool.
Great. Anybody else?
John, are you coming?
I'm like, we'll see you Thursday.
Remind us of the time and place of Thursday's meeting.
It's at 5 p.m. at the Leisure Center.
Thanks, Maria.
Thank you, thank you.
Sorry, I have to switch presentations.
Do the proclamation of.
Yeah, I'm getting it. Not going. There we go. Okay, so at each of your seats, you have a draft proclamation to recognize July 2025 as Park and Recreation Month here in the city. Similar to what we did in May for several of other proclamations, is July is a big month for our team. And so we would like to request that the city proclaim it as Parks and Recreation Month. This year, NRPA, which is the National Recreation and Park Association, is celebrating 40 years of celebrating July as Park and Rec Month. They get it approved by Congress, as well as recognizing this as an official month of celebration for all park and recreation agencies across the country. And this year's theme is Build Together, Play Together. And so that'll be the emphasis that you'll see park and rec agencies celebrate all throughout the month of July. For us, we are also embarking on really focusing on a new digital marketing strategy. We've just hired a new digital marketing firm that's going to come in and help us assess all of our social media channels, increase traffic to our website, and really just kind of boasting everything that we do and promoting that out to the community. So this will be a perfect time for us to kick that off and kind of share all the wonderful things that we do, especially here in summer, even though it's hot outside, we're still really busy in providing some excellent programming and events for our community members. So this item is to request that the commission approve the recommendation to the city council and of proclaiming July as Park and Recreation Month.
I make a motion to approve proclaiming July 2025 as Park as Recreation Month.
Second.
And we'll do a roll call vote.
Commissioner Adler,
Approved.
Commissioner Davis,
Approved.
Commissioner Ferguson,
Approved.
Commissioner Finland,
Approved.
Commissioner Nagaya,
Approved.
Commissioner Roddy,
Approved.
Chair Morale,
Approved.
Vice Chair Paul Donato.
Approved.
Motion approved.
Wonderful, thank you for that. Next, I'll give you some updates on some special events that we have coming up for the department. First, we'll start at the swim center with our dive-in movie series. So our next movie will be on July 19th, where we will be showing Moana. So open swim starts at 7 p.m. and the movie starts at dusk. So come join us for that. Next week, we will celebrate 4th of July here in Palm Springs, where we have a series of wonderful events for the community to enjoy. We'll kick off the 4th of July weekend with Village Fest on Thursday, July 3rd. We'll have a kickoff party at Village Fest where we'll have family-friendly activities, crafts, a live DJ, and free snow cones for anybody that wishes to have one while supplies last. And that'll be along downtown Palm Springs as part of the Village Fest events. On Friday, July 4th, we'll be very busy with 3 different events happening that day. We'll kick off with our pool party, our All-American Pool Party at 3 p.m. at the Palm Springs Swim Center. That'll go until 10, so you can see the fireworks show from the pool, so that'll be really fun. The Power baseball game starts there, baseball game at 6 p.m. And there is a slight admission fee for that event because that's a ticketed baseball game. At 7 p.m. in Sunrise Park, we will have a concert in the park by a Beatles tribute band called Hard Day's Night. And then following the evening and to conclude the event, we'll have a fireworks show at around 9:15 p.m. Launching from Cerritos Field. So you can see the fireworks show in Sunrise Park from the pool at the swim center. Or after the baseball game at Palm Springs Stadium, you're welcome to go in the outfield and watch the fireworks show. And then concluding the weekend on Saturday, July 5th, we have a dive-in movie. We will be showing Captain America, the First Avenger. Open swim starts at 6 p.m. on that day, and then the movie starts at 7. So lots of fun, really friendly activities for everybody to enjoy. I'm sorry, I mentioned that as well. So that's a flyer specifically for 4th of July with the pool party, the Power baseball game, concert in the park, and then of course the fireworks spectacular at the end of the evening. Later this summer, we have 2 backpack giveaway events on Saturday, July 26th. We have our Duluth Community Center backpack events at 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. And then on Friday, August 1st, at the James Leggetti Desert Island Community Center from 5 to 7. We've also embarked on a partnership with the Palm Springs Surf Club that'll provide 3 local days to the water park this summer. They are on Wednesdays on June 25th, so this week, July 16th and August 13th, and they're available all day that the Surf Club is open from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. This is a really great opportunity for the community in this area to benefit from this partnership and get a discounted admission. Kids are $10 what they're normally $20, and then adults are $20 what they're normally $40. So this is a great opportunity for Palm Springs residents to benefit from this event. And then you can scan from this flyer the direct ticket link from that QR code, or you can go to the Recreation Home website and click on the link there to go directly to purchase tickets. And that includes all the upcoming special events. Happy to answer any questions if you have.
You're not doing the fiscal thing?
That'll come next.
Sorry. No worries. I'm like, it's on my agenda.
I'm sorry, I did have one possible correction for you on our last agenda item, I'm sorry. I think you wanna call this your Parks and Recreation Committee rather than Park and Recreation Month, Parks with an S. Get your header in your footer, it's just a typo. Right? Proclaiming July 2025 as Park and Recreation.
Yeah, I see.
Parks and Recreation.
You got it.
And at the bottom.
Got it.
Oh, at, I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Got it.
Why do you wanna make sure you're well represented for all the hard work you do?
Thank you for clarifying.
You're welcome.
I'll read the ad hoc reports already. Okay, I guess I'll do dog park. Our next ad hoc meeting is, oh boy, somebody include me at July 11th. It's July something. Anyway, we had our last one, it was productive, the community members have been giving us good feedback, I feel like. So our next one is
July 10th
July 10th.
at 1.
And it's 1 p.m. via Zoom. It's the same group of people. There's usually 3 or 4 community members, me, Nick, Riley. But all seems to be progressing with less animosity than anticipated.
Don't put that in me.
Pickleball.
Essentially with regards to pickleball, I don't have anything to add, based upon what John and Nick had shared earlier. It's with our new revised schedule, we're moving along, and hopefully as summer 2025 progresses, further details, and we'll really see some positive action as we get into the early part of September, where that project big thing now is, as John had defined, cleanup and revisions and changes over at our temporary site. That's more forthcoming as far as the site with the wall.
What's the date for the revised bid submission?
It's currently bidding now.
Okay.
Yeah, so after the 30-day period, and I don't have that date off of the top of my head, staff will review the bids and then bring to award a contract in sometime in August to the council.
Is there any new bidders?
We don't know yet because it's currently bidding.
Oh, I see. Oh, yeah.
Swim center.
We've been pretty much updated today, so we're good there, but the only thing would add, see you Thursday.
Maybe. Master plan and park enhancements. I don't know which side wants to take it.
As far as parks enhancements go, I got an update from John earlier, always doing a great job, thank you. Design elements for our playgrounds, we selected Ruth Hardy a while back, so that's still intact, so. We're gonna move forward as soon as we get the permit there, as John mentioned. Hoping to get the design elements brought to us in the next month or two, so this summer for Desert Highland. So once we get that, work with the ad hoc and making sure that we finalize that, make sure that there's consistency, because one of the things that we do when we do get those design elements is making sure that colors and everything are consistent with all of the other playgrounds that we've rolled out this past year. So good there. As far as master plan, we received our list of priorities and objectives. So I'm gonna be working with Nancy and our ad hoc on reviewing those and coming up with an action.
Cool.
I have one question.
Mm.
When do you think this is going to go to the city council?
That is a great question. We just received the draft from our consultants on the CEQA analysis, so that's currently being reviewed now. Being that the council will recess in August, probably gonna go in September.
That's it for ad hocs, right? Now up to commissioner comments. If nobody objects, I'd like to say 2 things. Both revolve around this guy right here. First, I hope the whole city thanks you in your 10 years of service on the Parks and Rec Commission. And second, I hope there's a picture of you throwing the pitch at our baseball game. There is a picture somewhere. Do you guys know that this happened?
I just told him. I had to practice because you're on that mound, man. I didn't want that ball to go in the
You
dirt.
didn't want to be thrown like a girl, I know, that would have been my concern. But anyway, I'm sure the city would say the same as I, that we thank you for your 10 years of service, and we will miss you.
Thank you very much. I'll just make it short and sweet. This has been awesome. I liked it. From day one I started going through COVID and having to go through Zooms. That was a bummer. I hated it because as you know me, I'm a touchy-feely guy. I like to see my people. I like to talk to people. But it's been a great ride, and this is a good group. You got a lot of good people. You're a great addition. So thank you for everything. I do want the fence to get put up in that back on field 7. Now I'm a big softball guy, I will always be playing ball, so.
You'll be able to come and participate in public comment. And
Right. We'll be able to do that, so, but thank you, everyone's been real nice and welcoming and just friendly, and it's been good, it's been a good run, so.
Thank you for what
Thank
you've
you,
done.
I appreciate it,
Yeah, thank you.
I appreciate it.
I just have one thing to say, Jody would say it if she was here, but you didn't really mean to say throwing like a girl.
I did, but you know, I get it.
Jody's not here, so.
Yeah.
She's jealous.
She'd be mad at me for sure.
Would be mad at you.
I just wanted to echo the sentiments. Thank you for your service, your representation, all of the work that you've done with Duluth Park. Really appreciate that.
Thank you, Jason.
And then I also wanted to just mention as far as our backpack giveaway, so what I usually do with my class is we usually collect donations and we donate the supplies to Duluth Park. So we have 2 here, Duluth on the 26th, I believe, of July, and then the 1st of August for James O'Jesse. So if anybody would like to contribute, just reach out to me. I can make sure they either, if you want them specifically to go to the Duluth giveaway or James O'Jesse, I could work with Jody and either one of us could come pick them up. But always appreciate the donations. We collect things like backpacks, notebooks, pens, pencils, rulers, all basic supplies that kids need. And it's a beautiful event. If you haven't had a chance to attend one, it's just amazing. They give away free haircuts. I mean, they've done shoes one year. It's just awesome. So if you get the opportunity, mark your calendars and check it out. I had Nancy volunteering last year. Yeah, it's great. We don't need volunteers this year, but supplies are all welcome. So just reach out, let us know. Thank you.
Cool. Do you have a list of supplies?
I can get you.
Okay.
Anybody else have a comment? No? Adjourning the June 23rd Park Recreation Commission meeting at 6:29 p.m.